Have you ever seen those beautifully decorated Easter eggs that look like tiny works of art? Today I'm in Bucovina, Romania, where I'll show you how these incredible eggs are made, a tradition that takes incredible skill and has been passed down for generations. What makes this video special? I'll show you the entire process from start to finish, something most people never get to see. We'll go through all the stages of creating these eggs, including the secrets behind perfect lines, color layering, and the meaning behind every symbol. I'm with Ms. Luciuc Oreșia, a master artisan who learned this craft from her grandmother, even though her parents discouraged her from pursuing art as a career.
Am învățat de la bunica mea, după care am fost ucenică 2 ani de zile, după ce s-a îmbolnăvit bunica, am fost la o altă femeie care lucra ouă tot timpul anului, din asta trăia, și am învățat de la ea etapă cu etapă. Părinții nu m-au lăsat la liceul de artă, considerând că nu se pot trăi din artă, dar pentru mine, cu toate că am studiat, hobby-ul a rămas.
Today, she works with museums across Romania and teaches children who've gone on to win national awards. Let's get started with stage 1. First, we need to prepare the egg. Ms. Oreșia explains that chicken eggs aren't ideal because they're small, porous and yellowish. Instead, she uses duck eggs, which have smoother shells, goose eggs, or even ostrich eggs for special pieces. The first step is degreasing and washing the egg. Once you begin the coloring process, you can't use detergent anymore. She carefully drills a hole to extract the contents so the egg won't ferment over time. You must push air in with the syringe, not pull out, to avoid creating pressure that could crack the shell. If the eggs are fresh, their contents can still be used for cooking. This egg shell couldn't withstand the pressure, proving that not all eggs are ideal. Not all eggs are suitable for decoration. After breaking the yolk with a syringe so it can pass through the small hole, all the content is removed. Then the egg is washed inside with water to prevent fermentation and odors. Finally, the egg needs to be completely dry. Wet eggs won't hold the wax properly.
Definitiv. Trebuie să-l spălăm o dată, 2 ori și atunci oul rămâne curat în interior.
Now comes the artistic part. The artist uses a special tool called a cișiță, essentially a tiny funnel made from a needle attached to a wooden handle with thread to keep it steady. The wax needs to be hot. Here's something fascinating. The wax protects colors. This is the key to the entire process.
Cu ceară, la final o să vedeți că rămâne alb.
Whatever the wax covers stays that color through all the dyeing steps. Ms. Oreșia shows us an egg she started earlier, featuring the symbolic cross, the infinite path or labyrinth, and wheat stalks. She's going to create a star in the shape of the sun. Every line and color on the egg symbolizes something, and each egg typically features a cross or another spiritual symbol. Look at the incredible skill needed to draw straight lines on a curved surface. To establish vertical or horizontal patterns, you must plan the egg's division from the beginning. To help children master this precise skill, she encourages them to first practice their designs on paper before applying them to the eggs. The dyeing process follows a specific order, always moving from lighter to darker colors. The first bath will be yellow. Where wax is applied first protects the white egg beneath from any dye. After applying yellow dye, the egg needs 24 hours to dry for the color to stabilize. You can't apply wax to a wet egg.
Când lucrezi, ți se pare că mai trebuie ceva și mai pui câte liniuță și mai pui câte liniuță.
Interesting fact, master artisans can recognize each other's work. Each has a unique style. The way they draw lines, their preferred colors or motifs. Different regions also have distinct styles. In Maramuresh, for instance, eggs are typically monochrome, white and red only. Now she's adding a pine tree and branch design. Though many children are learning this craft from their parents, not everyone has the patience for such detailed work. Traditionally, these eggs were proudly given to fiancés or guests. It's predominantly women's work. Men typically make the traditional wax pen. Before the dye bath, the hole made for cleaning the egg's interior must be sealed with wax to prevent dye from entering. If color gets inside, the egg won't dye properly on the outside. When it's time to remove the wax at the end, you start by clearing wax from the hole first to prevent pressure buildup that could crack the egg from the heat.
negru și după aia peste un an de zile deja rămâne să schimbă.
The design isn't wiped off the egg, but the dye needs to be slightly warmed. Cold dye won't adhere properly. The color comes from tea-based dyes and wool aniline dyes used for carpets, though these are becoming harder to find. Traditionally, natural colors were used from plants, chamomile and marigolds for yellow, for example. Commercial dyes often don't last as long. Properly dyed eggs should maintain their colors for several years. Miss Orisha shows us her dyeing pots. It's 20 eggs at once.
Nu prinde. Și atunci noi o încălzim foarte puțin, ca și cum ar fi o băiță pentru un copil.
She tests the dye temperature with her finger. Too hot isn't good either. Eggs should remain in each dye for 10 to 15 minutes, though we are speeding up the process for this demonstration. The type of egg matters. Ostrich eggs might need 3 to 4 dye baths because of their porous surface. If the pores are very large, dye can seep inside and the egg needs polishing. After dyeing, the egg must dry for 24 hours for the color to set, though for our demonstration we are drying artificially.
Deci le scoatem din vopsea, le lăsăm să suce de la sine.
Now, wherever we want the yellow color to remain, we apply wax over the yellow areas. She's creating wheat stalks, which are naturally yellow, by covering those areas with wax. When the wax is eventually removed, these areas will remain yellow. Each color has a symbolic meaning. Yellow represents light and warmth, red symbolizes the blood of Jesus, and black or brown represents earth and the universe. Green, used especially in the Vatra Dornei and Kampulong regions, represents flora and fauna, while blue symbolizes the clear sky. All lines on the egg are drawn from the center outward, never inward, just as we move forward in life, not backward. A double line represents the line of life. You left and returned. When asked if she has created any unusual designs, Ms. Oresha explains, "Recently I created a special egg for the Israeli embassy, combining traditional Bukovina motifs with Israeli elements like the Star of David and Happy Easter written in both Hebrew and Romanian, alongside the flags of both countries. I've also made custom designs like a dragon for a German doctor, working with restoration teams who commission special pieces."
Foarte puțin vor să vadă etapă cu etapă.
The next stage is applying red dye, which is pre-warmed like the yellow. Red is the most difficult color to get right, and its success depends on having a perfect yellow base. She used to use an orange shade that's no longer available. Ms. Oresha uses a darker red, almost burgundy, created by combining several colors. She tests it on a broken eggshell first to check the shade. Notice how the dye isn't adhering well in some spots? That means the egg wasn't dried properly between stages, she explains. The color code must be followed precisely, just like in painting. white, yellow, red, and finally black or brown. Colors combine in interesting ways. If you want green, you apply blue over yellow. If you apply red and then green, you'll get purple. Few people realize how time-consuming this process is. Each egg design takes about 3 hours of actual work, plus 24 hours of waiting time between each dye application. For eggs with 4 to 5 different colors, the entire process can take up to 5 days. The traditional wax pen tools are crafted by men, and Miss Orisha buys hers from local artisans. They come in different sizes, some with larger heads for applying more wax, others with thinner heads for drawing fine lines. Each tool maker has their own style, creating finer or thicker tools. She also has special ones for children who tend to damage them quickly. The wax must be at the perfect temperature, around 65 degrees. If it's too cold, it doesn't spread well. If it's too hot, it spreads too much and drips. Her children have learned the art and can recognize their mother's eggs and designs in museums. Though they know the craft, they don't practice it. When asked if this tradition is endangered, she said no. There are enough practitioners, and as long as faith is preserved, so will the tradition. When asked what she enjoys most about egg decoration, Ms. Oresia shares, "It's relaxing. It takes me away from daily worries. In the quiet, I find concentration and relaxation. It's a pleasure to work this way."
La noi, odată ce se păstrează credința, o să păstreze și tot.
Asked how long she can work continuously, she says it varies. She needs to be rested and see well. Eventually her hand tires, especially with large ostrich eggs, and her vision and hand become fatigued. She can work for 4 to 6 hours depending on how rested and in what mood she's in. For the egg she's working on, she wants more red, so she's filling in larger areas with wax. She uses the opposite end of the drawing pen because filling with the needle would take too long. She warns that this requires dexterity and isn't recommended for beginners. When mistakes happen, they can be fixed by creating additional lines because once wax touches the egg, it can't be removed. In Rădăuți, her hometown, there were about 5 master artisans, but now only 2 remain, plus one woman who creates eggs decorated with beads. The red face is complete. All areas that should remain red are now covered with wax. After checking that the wax covers all desired red areas, the egg is ready for its black dye bath. Now we bathe the egg in black dye. Again, for this demonstration, we are drying it artificially, though Ms. Orisha didn't want this filmed as she says it doesn't represent her proper technique. Depending on the dye strength, about 2 liters of dye can color 100 to 120 eggs before losing potency and needing replacement. She buys eggs from farms. Eggs kept in incubators without being turned regularly lose their shine and don't dye evenly. Fresh eggs take color best. Ducks and geese don't lay eggs year-round, only for about 3 months a year, so she buys them during that period, empties them and prepares them for the following year.
Am ajuns la ultima fază, când trebuie să ștergem ceara de pe ou la o sursă de căldură.
The final phase is removing the wax near a heat source. Miss Orisha uses a gas stove rather than a candle as other artisans do, as it gives better results. The wax is gently heated and wiped away with a cotton cloth. First, she unclogs the hole to prevent pressure buildup, then wipes away all the wax until it's completely removed from the egg. When asked what makes a well-crafted egg, Miss Orisha explains, "A good egg maintains the white line, has many thin lines, is richly decorated without colors interfering with each other, and has a clear design." There are many stages and much effort before reaching the final phase, which is why I made this video, to help you understand how difficult and complex this craft truly is. Ms. Oreșia shows us other eggs from her basket and compares the demonstration egg, which didn't dry properly between dye baths, with a correctly made egg. The properly made egg has much stronger, more vivid colors than the rushed demonstration egg.
Uitați-vă ce diferență este între ou lucrat în timp și ou lucrat acum. E același model.
Da.
Lou lucrat în timp când am lăsat să se stabilizeze culoarea și acum am lucrat pe moment când am ținut mai puțin.
Da, sunt mai puternice.
Sunt mai puternici și așa trebuie să fie. Aici avem la fel cruce cu meandrul, este calea infinitului. Acest simbol îl regăsim și la greci, la egipteni și în Italia, pentru că mai este sub o formă pătrată, cum ar veni, și reprezintă același simbol, calea infinitului. Aici avem cruce combinată, la fel cruce. Deci noi concepem modelele în funcție de imaginația fiecărui. Aici avem steaua, aici avem sistemul solar, steaua și sistemul solar, fazele lunii și soare. Lună plină, primul pătrat, al doilea pătrat și aici avem stejarul, tot combinat în formă de cruce. Stejarul este singurul copac care se regenerează singur și reprezintă statornicie, putere. Aici avem tot cruce combinată cu motiv național pe care le regăsim în picămăși, mai ales în brăi. Aici și toate aceste ouă tradiționale nu sunt lăcuite. Aici avem brăduțul, salcia și frunzele de salcie. Crucea pascală sau crucea de flori, dacă avem aici mățișor, înseamnă crucea de flori. Aici avem un model vechi, steaua cu clinii, cei 40 de clini, cum spunem noi. Cei 40 de clini întâlnim la cămașă, întâlnim la prosoape, ștergare sau sub această formă. Aici 64 de clini. Aici avem pancraturul, alfa și omega, combinat cu spicul de grâu, cruce. Tot ce vedem aici cu picățele și așa făcute sunt roadele, tot ce se găsește, ce punem în pământ, cu alte cuvinte, semințele care se pun în pământ. Aici avem crucea și aici avem trifoiul și în același timp noi spunem, este o combinație la noi ortodoxi, spunem Sfânta Treime, cruce și Sfânta Treime. Aici avem un model geometric combinat, dar tot regăsim cruce în mijloc.
Nivelul de amănunte.
Sau acesta este un model pe care îl regăsim în toată România și se găsește pe cătrința purtată de Regina Maria și îl găsim mai ales și în covoare. Deci un simbol vechi care ne reprezintă obiceiurile și tradițiile noastre.
Toate până acum au fost mate, da?
Da, acestea sunt ouăle tradiționale mate care nu se lăcuiesc. Aici, de exemplu, avem lianul sau viața, da? Razele soarelui și ploaia.
Da. Foarte interesant.
Plus, cum să zic, calea infinitului. Acest model este inspirat, dar tot nu l-am lăcuit, este inspirat de picămăși, modelul în oblic.
Da. Parcă. Tot de pe costumul tradițional bucovinean.
Da. Avem deja ouă făcute, lăcuite și numai cu motive geometrice, inspirate de pe ștergare, covoare, dar predomină crucea.
Și lăcuirea cum se face?
Lăcuirea se face cu lacuri cumpărate, sunt lacuri mate. Lacul protejează și îi întărește, deci rezistența lor este mai mare, cum ar veni. Și e lucios și arată bine ca aspect. Aici avem altă etapă, ouă lucrate cu ceară colorată. Deci în loc să punem în baie de culoare, noi colorăm ceara și se colorează cu pigmenți de culoare sau cu creioane cerate. Da. Deci tot motive geometrice, combinate și modelul rămâne în relief. Deci este un model care rămâne în relief. În timp oamenii s-au perfecționat, fiecare meșter a avut câte o idee, până la urmă un ou de lemn, model tot tradițional, combinat geometric. Oul de lemn este specific pentru copii și este unul comercial.
If you like to purchase these beautiful eggs, take lessons or arrange a demonstration with Ms. Oresia, you can contact her at oresiatucu@yahoo.com or check her full contact details displayed now on screen. We've seen the incredible skill and patience that goes into creating these Romanian decorated eggs, from preparation to the final reveal. The ancient art of egg decoration continues thanks to dedicated artisans like Ms. Oresia. I'll be visiting more traditional craftspeople around Romania in upcoming videos exploring arts that have survived for generations. Subscribe to join me as we discover these amazing cultural treasures before they disappear.